So I think of it like this, like the bones is the underpainting. And then you're creating like the structure of the face with the underpainting. And then the skin that goes on top of the bones is the foundation. Does that make sense? To me, that in my mind, that's how it makes sense. So first, I always like to start with color correcting. I'm gonna use the small end of the dual-ended underpainting brush. And I always like to get in the corner of the eye and then right in that little pocket. And I never like to get too close to the eye on this. I like to kind of leave that natural shadow right under the eye. Now I'm gonna go in with some contour. And you can use the color corrector also anywhere that you have any sort of discoloration. So now I'm gonna go in with the large side of the dual-ended underpainting brush, and I'm gonna go in with the Contour 1 shade. I always like to warm it up on the back of my wrist. And I always like to start kind of at the end of the brow and give it a little bit of a lift. And then I kind of go up the forehead from there. I get right on the top of the cheekbone and give it a little bit of a lift there too. And now I'm gonna do the jaw, and I'm gonna dip into Contour 2 just to get a little bit more depth. And this is a fun little thing I always like to do. I like to kind of get like right behind the ear and go down the neck. It looks really pretty in pictures. It elongates the neck a little bit. Now I'm gonna do the nose. So I'm gonna use the small side of the dual-ended underpainting brush, and I'm gonna, again, mix the contour shades together. Start in the front of the eyebrow. It's kind of my guide. And go down the bridge of the nose. You can do the lips too if you want. I'm gonna use the small side of the underpainting brush and take a little bit of both the contour shades and just create a real light, kind of smudgy contour around the lips. Okay, now I'm gonna go in and highlight. So I'm gonna use highlight 1. And I always like to start my highlighting right in the center of the forehead. And I always make this shape. I don't know why, it's just kind of my thing. And when you're highlighting, it's kind of creating really pretty light. You always want to think like where the light would hit. Like center of the forehead, bridge of the nose, right under the eye and the sides of the nose. And you can just go right over that color corrector. This is kind of like reverse contouring when you kind of lay highlight on the other side of the contour. You don't have to use as much product. It makes the contour stand out more. And this doesn't have to be so perfect. I mean, placement is important. Once we put the foundation over it, it's very forgiving and it's gonna blend it all together. I always like to get some right in the center of the chin. I like to start in the corner of the mouth and then kind of go up that contour we created on the cheekbone. Like it's all creating an illusion, and this is creating a nice little lift. And I'm gonna mix both shades together and just kind of do the jaw. And you can just do one of these steps. You don't have to do all of these steps. That's important to know. If you just kind of want to do the cheekbones or the jaw or the nose. And I use the deep palette on my beautiful model, Mame. Now we're gonna go over it with our foundation. So the number 1 question that I get asked is what foundation I apply over the underpainting to get that really fresh skin-like finish. So this is the secret, Le Skin Weightless Serum Foundation. So Le Skin comes in 35 shades, and I'm using shade 260 on Mame. The way I like to use Le Skin foundation is I start with just 1 pump on the back of my hand, and then I use the foundation brush. This brush is amazing. I got to really create the brush of my dreams. And then I work the product into the bristles. And you wanna use a light application. I like to kind of go in the direction I want the face to go. I always like to kind of go over the highlight areas first. And see, this is doing the blending of that underpainting for you. You don't have to worry about blending it before this step. This is what makes it really fast too. Underpainting and foundation really work hand in hand. You want to use something that has enough coverage, but that is light, that is sheer, that like mimics skin. And you don't want something that's gonna disturb the underpainting underneath. So that is why I created Le Skin. It is your skin, but better. So Le Skin has 2% niacinamide. As an esthetician, skincare is super important to me. Niacinamide helps with skin's texture and tone. Ugh, it's so pretty and glowy. How does it feel?
It feels amazing.
Does it?
Super light.
Oh, good. So I'm gonna get the rest of the product on the back of my hand with the foundation brush, and I'm going to kind of blend it down her neck. I am so excited for you guys to finally be able to try this at home. This has been an absolute dream product for me to make. Le Skin Weightless Serum Foundation. I cannot wait for you guys to try it at home.